Hello and welcome to another episode of West Underground. But before we start, I just wanted to say, have you guys subscribed? Because it's never been a better time to subscribe than today. Because for the next 2 weeks, we're running a competition. So subscribe and then comment in the comments that you've subscribed, because we're picking 5 people to give away West Underground t-shirts to. So all you have to do is hit that subscribe button and tell us you've done it. And look, you will go into the chances of winning a shirt. But we're giving 5 away, so the odds are in your favour. Anyway, enjoy the video, guys.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of West Underground. We've got a band named Teddy Rizzo. There's about 4 of them in here at the moment. So I want to throw the mic over to you guys and describe who you are and what you guys do in the band.
Hi everybody, I'm Nathan and I play guitar in Teddy Rizzo. Jay, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah. I'm Joaquin. I play drums in Teddy Rizzo.
Cool. And there's not just 2 members in the band, is there?
Yeah. There's also 2 Laurens as well.
Yeah, we have 2 Laurens. So how about Dawson, you want to introduce yourself?
Yep. Hey guys, I'm Lauren. So I play bass in the band.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I'm also Lauren and I sing in the band.
Now, guys, do you remember when you were in high school and there was 2 people that may have shared the same name as you, and you would like, and then when they would do like, you know, you wanted to talk to the other one and someone yelled out, "Hey, Lauren," like, how do you differentiate between the 2 of you guys when you're rehearsing in a room and, you know?
Well, Nathan came up with LD and LC, which helps because like, that's pretty easy. But it's like rare when you see a Lauren, but as soon as you do see a Lauren, it's like a flock of Laurens. I feel like we're a special breed. Does anyone notice that, or is it just me?
I
Like
know
there's either no Laurens or 20.
Yeah. I know a few Laurens as well. It's a common name for me.
But I'm yet to see the flock of Laurens. I've met plenty of Laurens, but I've never seen them all together, you know, like pigeons in the park. I haven't seen the flock yet.
Yeah, it's coming. It's coming for you.
No. No, now I'm going to be really superstitious walking around for a flock of Laurens. Now, how did you like kind of start the band? You know, like, did you just happen to, you know, bump into a flock of Laurens and decide to call it Teddy Rizzo, and that's how it's happened? Or what has been the journey and the progression of finding everybody and getting it all together?
Yeah, it's been a pretty long journey, I suppose. Like I started the band about 2 years ago when I was just making shitty little videos for Instagram playing my guitar. And then one day I just decided to record an EP, like, because I had all these songs and I just decided to record them instrumentally. And then through like that process, I was trying to figure out, you know, do I want to do it like solo or give it a name? So I came up with the name because I just hated the sound of my own name, like coming with the title. It just didn't sound fun or exciting. So anyways, I came up with the name, and then I was shooting a video one day and the director of that video is Joaquin's best friend. And then he introduced me to Joaquin. And then we've been playing together for about a year, doing all shows, doing recording, played in Sydney, played in Brisbane, stuff like that. And then we were talking for ages about bringing on some new people and whether we wanted to bring on a singer. And then we met Lauren, the bass player, because we played a show with her and her other band, Final Gambit. And then we were looking for a bass player and she reached out. And then, you know, that's sort of gone really well. So we're really happy there. And then through that process as well, we were looking for a singer and we had Lauren. We were talking to her for a couple of months, and, you know, that's pretty much how we met each other. But
Oh,
yeah,
man.
it's been like a 2-year process, really.
And now, like with the lineup that you've got, it's everything's like connecting well. Like guys, you're all working together well. It feels like it's organic, and you're finding your your sound.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Like it sounds like we had a first rehearsal a couple of weeks ago since lockdown. It just sounds really fucking sick.
Yeah.
Like, cause me and Jay, we would play and we're like, yeah, cool. All right, next song. Yeah, cool. Next song. And we'd just go through it, we'd have fun. But then like with having everyone there, it's just like, fuck.
Yeah.
It's like hectic.
Yeah, it'd be
Definitely a
crazy for
very new
you as well,
experience.
Nathan, because Nathan's like never worked with a singer before or a bass
Yeah.
player. You've been working with what, Joaquin for how long? Just Joaquin.
Yeah, like to have like more people there to talk to, bounce ideas off, create the music together. It's just unreal. It really gives. I don't know. It's such a hard thing to articulate to someone that's not a musician.
Yeah.
It's really special.
Nice, man. Like that's great. That's what you want to feel like that.
Yeah.
And like, how did you come up with the name? Like you briefly brushed over it, but I mean, your name is oddly Pacific. It sounds like I was expecting that there was going to be somebody in here named Teddy. Like what's going on? Like,
Yeah. It's like play Jay Gladstone, something like that.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah, or was this just a soloist just with a name? That's what I thought. I thought it was like one guy, but then I was like, when I'm listening, I didn't want to say "Hey mate" or "Hey guys," just in case I got it wrong. But then I saw there's more band members, so I went, okay, hey guys. So I've been following you for a long time as well.
No, I appreciate that. Thank you, Paul. I appreciate that. Like I watched the Clay J interview that you guys did, and I was like waiting for it. I'm like, oh, who's Clay?
He wasn't even in the video. He was.
And then it never even came. I was just
he
like,
wasn't there.
Oh.
It was his band members are in it, but not him. Because apparently it's his nickname to the pub or something. So he's not.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Yeah, Teddy Rizzo. Like there is a story behind it, but like I prefer to think of it now. Like because I had a feeling this question would come up, and I feel like it's become something so much more than what it originally was. It's kind of like it's not really a symbol or anything, but it's sort of I would describe it as like, it's whatever you want it to be. It's whoever you want to be. Like the reason why I started this whole project was because I was so sick of my boring life working in my shit job, just hating everything. And I just wanted to do something that everyone said I couldn't do. And now 2.5 years later, here we are. All these people are here because they believe in it, and it's just crazy. So to answer your question, Teddy Rizzo is whoever you want to be. Is your superhero alter ego, whatever.
Well, Teddy Rizzo is also an alien in the picture, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I bought the shirt. I was like, this looks so good. And it came in black. Hell yeah. So good.
Yeah, Paul doesn't wear any other shirts but white. Like his wardrobe just consists of one color.
Yeah, if they're all upside down, they all look the same. Except for the Teddy one with the back patch.
I got lots of black as well.
Yeah, just can't wear anything else. I don't know.
So so your logo is probably the most color Paul's worn in a long time. I mean, It's got a bit of green on it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, look. Here's the back patch.
Yeah, I'm just like I'm like super into aliens. UFOs.
Yeah, no, it looks good.
I go down these crazy rabbit holes on YouTube and all that, and so I said to the designer, I'm like, just make something iconic. And then he just did that.
Were you always into aliens, or was that just something that kind of happened over lockdown? Like for me, I never had an interest in any of that, like extraterrestrial stuff, until the first lockdown, and it's kind of rattled on to the second one. So I had time to go down those rabbit holes.
Man, always loved like science fiction movies. Pretty much, probably since I saw E.T. or Independence Day, something like that. So yeah, since I was a kid, always into it.
Nice, man. Nice. I want to kind of get away from this topic. Otherwise, I'll be asking you questions and.
Yeah, Hamish loves going rabbit holes into weird ass shit. So anyway, I'm just gonna ask, with the new band members, have you guys like organized all the songwriting and who's gonna do what and everything yet, or are you still in a process of just testing out new things?
Oh, can I just pause you there, Paul, and just
Yeah.
make this question a bit easier? Have you the way that was worded, I was, my brain was thinking, have you, like, it almost sounds like, have you assigned somebody the songwriting duties, but like, what's the process for you guys writing music? Is it like somebody, there's somebody who kind of comes to the, the group with, a set of lyrics and you kind of get together and put music to it? Or have you got somebody that's just kind of putting the base idea and going, I've kind of got this simple song, let's put some, what do you guys think?
Well, typically the way we've been doing it, I think over the last years, like Nathan will generally show up with his MacBook Pro and show me, all right, here's a bunch of demos I've been working on. And he'll basically have the whole track laid out with, just basic garage band drums. And then we just kind of jam out. And we work on the songs, and we're kind of in an interesting position now because we've actually recorded basically a whole album's worth of music as an instrumental band. And now we have a bass player and a singer. So we're currently in the midst of adding lyrics to all these songs that we've kind of just got in the bank ready to go. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty exciting because everything feels so different now.
Nice. And has that been hard to kind of sing over instrumentals, or has it been easy for you, Lauren?
It's kind of how I've always worked with music, I guess, to kind of train myself to freestyle and everything, because the way I kind of work musically is I would jam with people. Somebody will pull out a guitar, somebody will jump on the kit, and we'll just jam and freestyle. So I'm very used to it. And my other band is also the same, where I'll just kind of freestyle over the top of music and just jam, come up with melodies on the spot. So for like the past maybe, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks, I've been trying to just smash out the entire album. So I've been like going into like a studio or something and just designating 3 hours a week to just smash out a song and get the bones down as much as I can. And then once I've got all the songs like demoed and everything, I'll send it to them and they'll be like, this, that, change this or change that, or it's good or whatever. And then it goes from there. But it's definitely in my comfort zone. This style is out of my comfort zone, which is cool. I really like, but the way that I'm writing over their instrumentals is totally within my comfort zone. So it's been so easy to smash out this album.
Now, question: are you like writing when you're going in and trying to sing over the tracks, and you're in that process where you're working out and you're really trying to figure out what's working here? Are you thinking in terms of like lyrics, or are you thinking in melody? Like, are you writing out words, or are you more or less trying to do it the other way?
That's a good question, because it's a total flow state. Like you jump on and whatever happens. So pretty sure there's one song that we've got that it's called Lizzie Queen, and it basically was written on the fly. I got the lyrics and everything on the fly, and I wrote the song the quickest I'd written any of the songs. And the lyrics were there, the story was there, the melody was all there within a flash. But then other songs I'll be like, okay, this is the chorus. And then I'll work around the chorus, and then so it'll be melody. It's mostly melodies first, and then I'll freestyle whatever syllables fit in those melodies. Yeah. And then the story will start to create itself.
Now, what is the story of Lizzie Queen? Are you wanting to be the queen to Jim Morrison's Lizzie King? Like, what's going on?
What is the story of Lizzie Queen?
The opposite of Jim Morrison.
Well, it was really weird. I was writing to it, and there's this part, and I was just like saying it over and over again. I was like, in the back of the trunk there's a heartbeat, and I kept on saying that over and over again, and I was like, what does this mean? And then within like the next 10 minutes, I had written a song about killing the Queen and destroying the monarchy. And that's that. Probably the
Brutal.
most punk thing I've ever written, to be honest. But yeah, it just came out of nowhere. But I kind of vibe with it. I vibe with it a lot, actually.
It's a dope song, honestly. Ever since
Definitely the most fun.
Yeah, ever since Lauren's, added the lyrics to all the songs, like there's just such a new level of excitement in the tracks. Like, I'm really keen to get out and play these songs for you guys live. It's gonna be fucking sick. The set that we have going is just so high energy. I know Jay's gonna be wrecked after it.
Yeah, Jay goes hard too. Like even at practice, he's just like, half moshing while he's playing the drums. It's sick.
Go hard or go home, man.
Yeah, that's it. I agree. Yeah.
What about yourself, Lauren, on the bass? Do you have to add bass to these songs as well, or you have to learn the bass that they give you?
So I've Nathan sent through like tabs for the songs, which was super helpful. And then I learnt the guitar parts from that, and I would kind of play that on bass. And then once I was comfortable with that, I'd kind of mess around with it a bit and change it in parts, but I'd base most of it around his riffs because they're quite like heavy, chunky riffs, which fit really well on the bass.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's kind of like just getting the basic riffs down and then just seeing what, like some of them I had little like tunes that would come in my head. So then I just figure that out and then come up with that. But yeah, just seeing what pops in my head really.
Nice. I think that's a pretty like organic process.
She got it easier than the other Lauren because she got given the bass tabs, whereas the other one had like, oh, okay, I got nothing.
I'm still like my brain is trying to work out like when I like because when you were saying the words Lizzie Queen before, I just kind of had this like image that I kind of created, and then when you said it was about writing about the monarchy, like it just it's just my head's all over the place now. Just thinking how you
have you not heard about not only Mark Zuckerberg but like the Queen or like the reptilian race?
Yeah.
Where like everyone theorizes that the Queen is actually a reptile.
Lizard people.
Yeah. So like Mark Zuckerberg's in there. I'm pretty sure Steve Jobs was in there, but
I'm sure there's got to be like a South Park episode about this or something like that.
Surely. If I've written a song about it, there's like a South Park episode because I'm such a grandma with this kind of shit. But
do you reckon there's something to it, or it's just like you make enough money and then you suddenly get scaly and become a reptile, or the reptiles are the ones that just make the money from the start because they're reptiles? I don't know.
Yeah, but pop stars and all that rich people just come out of nowhere. Like, where do they come from? Do you know anyone who's like part of the 1%? I mean, it is a small percentage, but they breed within themselves, surely.
Yeah, it's all family stuff. Like, what is it, like the Rothschilds in New York? Like, they're just an entire family of generations of rich people.
Yeah.
They're just laying eggs under rocks.
Like I remember hearing that years ago about the lizard people. Jesus Christ!
Yeah.
Holy,
it just fucking came out of nowhere.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, you have to wonder with those ones, but like the Mark Zuckerbergs, I just wonder, like, is it more of a case of like no one cared until you made Facebook? Like no one, you just regular old Mark.
Regular old Mark. Yeah, and then maybe he went through some kind of like genetic transformation, which just made him immortal and a little bit robotic and a little bit reptilian.
He's so robotic. It's like
one of us.
So weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if the Queen
the
was
real
like,
Mark Zuckerberg is locked in a closet somewhere, and we're just seeing.
Yeah. He's locked in a closet with Michael Jackson.
Oh, no. That's right.
no, that's a South Park episode. Now, but you would think if the Queen was a reptile, right? Like, I've just had a thought. It's like, you think she'd move out of England, right? Because like all the snakes that I've ever seen in my life, they're always out in the sun, trying to be on a rock or something, trying to get a bit warm. And the Queen's just left herself in the middle of England. You'd think, and you never see her on Buckingham Palace.
That's a
on the
really
roof
good
trying to
point.
get a tan. Yeah.
Do you reckon she has her own hydroponics room that she just kind of like slithers into and just lies under a big hydroponic lamp? Like, she can probably afford it, with all the tax cuts.
I don't know. I read the other day she's a proper alcoholic. Like the Queen,
really?
Queen Lizzie is having like 4 cocktails a day, each with about 3 shots in them. She's loaded all the time. The only reason she's waving like however she waves like this is probably because she's got the shakes because she hasn't had a lot of drink, That's what I reckon.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, that makes sense.
The roast of the English family right now. How good.
Yeah,
Oh,
we're
you're
gonna get
Scottish. You should be loving it, mate.
cancelled.
Yeah, it was so
Ah.
good.
Anyway, so what's the inspirations for the next couple tunes?
So like musically, when I'm writing like the song, sometimes I just come up with like dumb names that pop into my head for whatever I feel like at the time. Like one song we had was called Pancakes because I felt like pancakes when I was writing it. Didn't really have anything else other than that in mind. and that's sort of when Lauren's come in to write her parts, that's what's turned into Lizzie Queen. So I don't know if that's connected at all. But yeah, from a music standpoint, I just like to write fun riffs and fun songs. Like if I can dance to it, then I know it's good enough for me. Like sometimes I'll be in like a real dark place and I'll write something like really emotional, but for the most part I just like making cool riffs. But yeah, like I don't know, Lauren, what do you think when you write the lyrics?
Well, yeah, as I said before, like it's always in a bit of a flow state, right? So I don't really plan on any of this at all. I think the best things are left unplanned, but a lot of it seems to go in the territory of very like socio-political and stuff like that. I guess I'm quite a highly opinionated person, and the band can probably vouch for me. I talk a lot. I've got a lot to say. I don't shut up. So yeah, a lot of it is like there's one song that I've written, and lyrically, it's about like how women are kind of told how to dress and how to be ladylike and stuff like that. And I kind of really hate that shit. So I wrote that song. And then like there's other things like discussing the new PM, for example, and his views on like abortion laws and all that kind of stuff. I find that's it just hits really close to me. And I think with Nathan's expression, I have just channeled like those feelings through his writing, because it'll be different for everything, but because of the way that Nathan writes, I seem to have this more like political, very opinionated, very way of like writing. And it's only because of the music that Nathan writes, because I've never really touched on anything political. So it's really cool. I like the writing aspect and how it's kind of fused and inspired.
Yeah. It's weird. Like I feel like we all have, like the four of us all have these individual frustrations at things in life and in our personal lives. And I feel like it really comes out in the music. Like I'm not a very vocal person. I don't really speak up too much about political stuff or racism stuff. But, you know, like when I do see that happening, like it's obviously, you know, terrible. And I've never really been able to just express myself as an individual person other than through playing guitar. So like I think probably the heaviest song we have is called Olympus, and like that riff is just fucking brutal. And that's Jay's favorite / most hated song, because the way he plays the drums on that is just absolutely brutal as well. We've had to pull it forward in the set because it's so heavy that it really takes the energy out of us. And like, you know, that's,
I love Olympus Mons.
yeah.
I love the name. I love the name.
Yeah, it's a fucking badass name.
It's cool.
Question for you, Jay. How many sticks do you have to bring to the gig?
At least 2 to 3 pairs.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just to be safe. But yeah, it's never more than it's never less than 2 pairs. That's for sure.
Yeah. Do you ever snap them when you?
Sorry?
Do you ever snap them?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, more than I am proud to admit. A lot of trees have been knocked down just to support my drumming. So, you know, yeah. But it's good, you know, if you're not breaking sticks, what's the point?
Yeah, that's it. Well, at least we know that you're proper brutal then.
Proper brutal.
Oh yeah.
Rock and roll.
I was hoping though, before Lauren, you were, you know, when I was asking about like, you know, inspiration, I was hoping that you were going to say, you know, the strange conspiracy theories. And I was like, can we expect a flat Earth song? But
you know what? It might be. I mean, like, yeah, I got the vibe that Nathan was into it. And then like, as I was asking, like, what does this name mean or whatever? Like Olympus Mons. I asked him what Olympus Mons meant, and it's the tallest mountain in Mars. Am I correct?
Yeah, it's like the biggest mountain in the solar system, and it's on Mars. You can Google it.
But how do we really know that though? Like no one's seen it.
Well, yeah, that's the question, mate. You know, that's what the scientists tell us. Unless you want to, you know, go against the scientists, but you know, or whip out a telescope of your own.
But yeah, I guess like our sense of data collection is only limited to what we've chosen to create, you know. So there could be a taller mountain on Mars. But yeah, I only really gathered that this was all kind of spacey. So it there are a couple of, once I started writing a bit more, because I was just writing, you know, whatever for myself, and then like once I kind of gathered the vibe of you know, the ideas and everything, I've started to get a bit more on the ethereal side now, which has been, it's been fun to explore that. It's been fun to explore that because like definitely with the softer songs, I feel like it affects it a bit more. So yeah, stranded on an alien planet is the theme of one of the songs.
Nice. I was thinking the other day, you know, like, you know how they are kind of opening the world up to like commercial space travel slowly. You've got all the rich, you know, the lizard people, you know, supposedly going to space with money.
SpaceX and everything.
You know, if that's the case, the next big landmark for a band to do would be, you know, to play in space.
Yeah.
I think like if there was ever going to be a band that would play on like the moon or Mars, it would probably be someone like Metallica or
Pink Floyd for sure.
Pink Floyd, sorry. Well,
We got to sharpen up our support pictures then.
Fuck.
Metallica on the Moon, featuring Teddy Rizzo.
Metallica, if you're watching, or Pink Floyd, if you're watching. Big fans.
Well, Roger Waters, really.
Definitely. Happy to support anyway.
Like
We believe in space.
I couldn't see. I don't know. This is just my imagination, but I just can't see Metallica up there on the moon. I can see like, you know, King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard and those kind of bands up there, you know, floating around.
Probably can't see it because it's so far away.
True.
Nah, King Gizzard for sure will be on the fucking moon if anyone's going to be on the moon.
Yeah. Well, you guys have got a couple of years before I reckon that, you know, that starts to pop off. So you've got a while to get the resume together, or maybe you're the headliners in the future. Who knows?
Who knows? Nathan might even build a rocket ship at this point.
Well, if you do, man, just let me know. I want to go up and have a look.
Well, that's the plan. Take this band to the top. So we'll get there one day.
Sky isn't the limit.
Literally and you know. But guys, what would you like to do in the future? Like, what are the future goals for your band?
I guess, like, obviously in the like big picture sort of styles, obviously, you know, we want to make good music first of all, and, you know, develop that fan base, and, you know, because that's what it's all about. If you don't have a good fan base, then, you know, it's going to be hard to get anywhere. But obviously, you know, enjoy the music ourselves. But, you know, I think you know, we want to go take this as far as we can. We want to, you know, get up as, like, you know, like the DZ Death Rays or the Violent Sohos, so to speak, you know. And I think we can. I think we've got such a strong presence in the band. We've got such really good songs. I think it's just a matter of putting them out in a strategic way and getting them, you know, played on the radio and stuff like that. And navigating all that bullshit is the hardest part, really.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, like one of my little goals is, you know, to get on Triple J and do that like a version thing. I think that'll be really cool one day. We can do that. That'll be awesome. That's just me, though.
For sure. And but like, as a band, do you guys set little goals too? Like, you know, like all right, you know, like I'll give you an example. Like, you know, when we're doing this podcast, me and Paul will have little discussions, and it's kind of like we'll say things that we want to do, but it's like a month or 2 months or 3 months down the track. Are you guys do you do that as well? Like, you like, oh, we should play here. We, you know, I want to have this released by here.
Yeah, like, I have a little to-do board that's right in front of me right now with all post-it notes and stuff. So yeah, we have you know, little goals that we set for ourselves. We just had a meeting the other day to talk about, you know, just the band as a whole, like our general image and stuff like that, because it's just something that Jay and I never really worried about. We never spoke about it, and now that we have a full-blown band that people can connect with, you know, it's important to sort of think about those things. Yeah, I think in terms of like little goals and stuff, just making good music, really.
Yeah.
Getting the singles ready, and getting some shows lined up that we need to announce in the next couple of weeks. But yeah, just getting the songs as perfect as they can be, and then organizing the release.
Yeah, because we are only very well, Lauren and I are only very recent additions as well, so we haven't really had time to like really kind of know what we need to do to solidify everything. I think once once the album is done, everyone's waiting on me. You know, and, you know, once we tighten up as a live act, which is so important, once those two are sorted, then it'll be on to the next thing. Then it'll be on to, you know, recording, and then it'll be on to, you know, the releasing strategy after that as well. But because we're so new, it's kind of like, oh, let's just get the songs right. You know.
Yeah, and it's so good to have both of the Laurens with us now, because like before, I would just message Jay and I would say, like, I would always come up with random stupid ideas, like, oh, we're gonna do this, and he'd be like, oh yeah, okay, cool. But now that like the Laurens are here, I'll message something in the chat and they'll be like, yeah, no, let's not do that. I'm like, okay, cool. I'll just shut up and keep playing guitar.
Like, do you have conversations with each other and it's like, all right, let's check with the Laurens now? Like,
I know. Yes, otherwise the flock of Laurens will come.
No,
like you're
not
talking
really.
like, will the Laurens like this?
No, we have this band chat, and we're just talking that. I think the other day, like, we were talking so much, like there was like over 50 messages in there, and Dawson was like, what the hell's going on, guys? I've been gone for 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's always me and Nathan, really. Actually, it's you and I are just fucking going off. Because I just don't stop talking. Like, as I said before, like, I literally just don't shut the fuck up. There was one time where we had a band meeting, I think, the other day. And it was just I'd never used Zoom before, so I didn't realize that there like you could click over and see the rest of the people.
Yeah.
So I thought it was just me and Nathan, and I was just passing time talking
Yeah.
shit, just like talking
yeah.
so much shit, just about fucking random ass shit. And I was like, where is everyone? And then they were both like, we're here. I was like, oh shit. Anyway, band meeting time.
It's very easy to do that though with Zoom when you first start. Like,
It is
yeah. Yeah.
Oh, am I on? Oh, for God's sake. My mic wasn't working all the time. Oh, why did it
That's
start
also
working
really
now?
easy. Cool.
I was like trying to I was gonna say something about yucking. I was like, if you ran out of the drumstick, you could just use your hands like the thunder of John Bonham. And I was trying to say it, and I was like,
Why is no one responding
oh
to me?
shit.
Now you know what it's like to live the life of a mime, Paul.
Yeah. I was miming. I was clicking as well, trying to find the audio. It just wouldn't work. Oh, that's so random.
The worst.
Oh wow. And I had a question, but then now that you've piped up, Paul, I've forgotten exactly what I was going to ask. You've distracted me.
That's all right. It'll come to you. We can cut this part, and if you just want to sit there and think.
Oh, no.
I have a question for you guys.
Yeah, go on.
How did you guys get this all started? Because one of my stupid ideas that I told to Joaquin a couple of years ago was that I wanted to start a podcast as well. So that never happened, thank God, because I'm terrible at talking. So how did you guys get all this started, and how did you get all the connections with all the bands?
Well, I had the idea. I was sitting on a bus when I was 15, and I was listening to Joe Rogan in Dubbo, where I lived. Anyway, I thought, oh man, this is cool. I thought, oh, this would be a good idea if somebody did that for music, and I banked that note in my head. Anyway, life happened. I went and I moved down to Sydney. I started playing music, whatever, and then COVID, the first lockdown happens, and I've gone, oh, I can't play any shows. There's, my band, whatever, we've all disbanded. We started fighting and stuff like that. And I just thought, bugger this. Me and the bass player of our band were quite tight. And also it was lucky because his dad is like a minister in a church. So when lockdown happened, they were granted all these like cameras to be able to facilitate, virtual mass essentially. And I was like, great. What are the chances we could start a podcast and, bring all those cameras around, because we're in lockdown. And this was the first lockdown where it wasn't really a lockdown. You could still have your friends over and do whatever you wanted. It was like a 10 or 20 person limit. And then because I had all the time under the sun, it was like, how would this be possible? And then who could we have? And then we kind of went down that road. And then when we all suddenly went back to work, it was very hard to keep going. And then this time round, Paul started, getting the page reactive again. And then because of the podcast, a radio station asked me to come in, I got into that and started that. And it was just a good time to come back, because I was like, oh, I've got all these other people that I want to talk to now as well.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, I remember that phone call. I was in my lying bed and you rang me because I wanted to do this podcast.
Yeah.
And you've been at Frankie's all the time, Paul. You know all these people. I'm like, yeah, I probably could kickstart with some people like Blake guitarist, Pierre, and who else we had? Oh, that Danny Sands. I was like, we'll kickstart with that. And then it just kept going. And then we got Wicked Things, the Fossics, Fangs, and all that. We just kept building this network. And then the second round network came because we got Zoom, and then it was just easy to Zoom with people in like Melbourne and LA and all that. And we just continue doing that.
Yeah, I was watching the Fangs one, and they came over to the house and they're all pissed. I was like, when you guys sent us the invite to come over, I was like, fuck yeah, it's gonna be sick.
Look, we'll have to start doing it. But like when we would do it the old way, we were so fucked. In all of those videos that we did, we drank so much. Like my garage has a whole shelf from like, two parking, like these are 2 parking spots, and there's a whole line of like, spirit bottles. We were drunk in every video for that first season.
That's wicked.
That's so awesome.
And this time we are cold sober, so. But
Well, you're doing well.
yeah.
I'm a little bit buzzed from my apple juice. So.
But that time you're talking about when the fangs guys come over, that was insane, because like we would always have alcohol there for like guests, you know, and stuff like that. But when they came over, they brought like a case of beer and like a bottle of like Fireball.
Yeah.
And before we even started, they're just like, shot. No, can we just, and the other guy's Canadian, like the singer, and he's like, man, can we just do another round of shots before we start? By the time we've started, I'm nearly seeing double vision.
That's so awesome. Yeah, those boys are crazy bunch of lads, just always partying. So awesome.
Yeah, literally. Literally. I think it took like a day or two to kind of recover from that one.
Yeah, but I cannot deal with hangovers anymore, dude. Like, it takes me like a good 2 or 3 days before I'm back to normal. Like, I'm in my mid-30s now. I just can't deal.
Yeah, me too, man. Like I've knocked drinking on the head now. I've stopped. I haven't had a drink for like 3 months. Not because it was like I had some, just more because I like started to feel really bad from the hangovers, and I was like, I think I should just stop now while I'm ahead, and just cut it out completely, because it'd take me like a day or two to to kind of get back online again.
Yeah, that's it.
But yeah, I admire those people that are able to do it, like the Fangs dudes. I'm just like, how do you do it?
Yeah, Jay has a good habit of being able to back up night after night, don't you, Jay?
I do what I can. I give it a good go, that's for sure.
Nice. Now, like when you guys are playing, like, have you guys done like many gigs together around Sydney?
So Jay and I have.
Yeah.
We've played several gigs in Sydney and a couple up in Brisbane when it was just the two of us. But we haven't done a show, the four of us together yet. We have a couple lined up, I'll say. Nothing announced yet, but hopefully in the next couple of days we'll be able to announce something.
Yeah.
But yeah, we have a couple planned, and we're just really getting in the zone, ready to do that, because yeah, it's going to be real fun, really exciting.
Beautiful, man. And like, have you guys done any gigs yet where you've had a rider, like where the venues have asked you, like, how much, what booze do you want?
What beers do you want?
Yeah.
I'll say something quickly, and then I'll let the other guys say. So the first time we played at Frankie's was the first time I had played a show in 10 years.
Wow.
So Jay would have been a baby back then 10 years ago, because he's the youngest in the band. But then when I was talking to Jordan's like, oh yeah, 150 rider. And I'm like, what's a rider? Like, does he want me to pay him 150 to play the show? So I'm like transferring money. I'm like, yeah, dude, just send me your bank account details and I'll transfer you. And he's like, no. And so like that was my first experience with a bar tab or a rider, so to speak.
Oh man, it's awesome.
What about the rest of you guys?
I think the first rider I got was when I played the last Hot Damn. It was like 2016, maybe. Do you guys remember Hot Damn? Yeah. No?
Yeah.
And that was pretty cool. But we played with a band called Endless Heights, and we didn't realize, we just got I think it was like 2 6-packs of beer or something like that. We didn't realize that we could actually like request special things. And the band that we played with, Endless Heights, they ordered like Doritos and salsa and like all this other shit, and we were just like, whoa, that's crazy. And then we were introduced into the world of requesting riders, and we're like, hang on a minute, we can get shit.
That is the best.
we definitely have to get big enough so that we can start requesting riders, because
fuck yeah, I want Doritos and salsa.
I didn't know that you could do that. I'm just happy to be there. I don't care.
Yeah, same.
No, but like that first time you get a rider or anything like that, it's a game changer. You're like, what is this sorcery? You know?
Yeah.
Dude, like the other day, I was watching one of your episodes where you had radicals on.
Yeah.
And we played that show with them at Frankie's that night. And they were saying they were in the green room just hanging out at Frankie's. I'm like, no one told me about the green room at Frankie's.
Oh.
Yeah.
This?
Well, it's open as a bar. Like, you know, there's the one downstairs.
Yeah, the whiskey.
No, I had no idea. No one told me about it. Like, because the way Frankie's operates, it's just so fluid. Like,
Yeah.
you kind of expected to know the deal. Like, no one really tells you anything because they kind of just assume that everyone knows. And I had no idea. I never asked. It never bothered me. But when I saw them say that, I was like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, because in smaller Sydney pubs as well, like there's not that many green rooms. So when you do like get a green room, it's really cool. It's really cool.
Yeah.
I think the biggest green room I've ever played at was like Oxford Art Factory. That's the biggest green room I've ever had. It's tiny. I can't think of another that's any bigger. No.
Yeah, it would be good to hang out somewhere before the show because like I was shitting my pants at that show. I remember me and Jay were on stage setting up and we're both just like, oh my God.
Just like that.
I think the good thing about like, you know, Frankie's too is like you've just got random people there that are on their nights out that are just pissed anyway. So even if you do have a bad show, I don't think you're really held accountable as much. It probably wouldn't hurt as much as like having a show where you've had to drag out all your friends and family and they're all there.
Yeah.
Speaking of friends and family, I was telling my mom how we have a show coming up like around the New Year period because she's going to come down from Queensland. I'm like, oh, we have a show on this date. Are you going to be in town? She just left me on red for like a few hours. And then she's like, oh no, we just changed our dates. We can't make it. Sorry.
Oh.
I'm like, all right.
Yeah, she'll catch us soon.
No worries, mate. That's fine.
Now you've just got to change the goal into to go up there and play it, you know, wherever in Queensland that they are. And then they're forced to kind of have to come because you're there.
We did that, Hamish, and they still didn't come.
Oh no.
Really?
Oh, no.
We went up to Queensland specifically to see them. We stayed at their house, organized the show on the weekend. They still didn't come.
Fuck. I don't know what to say there, man. Oh well.
My dad likes meatloaf, so I don't think he likes heavy metal. You know?
Yeah. Well, when you get the rider in the future, send the limo driver to pick them up in the stretch, you know, limousine, and then they're forced.
That's a couple of years away now.
Yeah. Oh man. But have you guys got any like places around Sydney that you like venues that you want to play that you haven't yet ticked off the bucket list? Like, have you guys played Oxford Art Factory as a band yet?
I'll let someone else talk for a second because I've been talking all day.
Walk in.
We have not. No, not as a band, but hopefully soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Emma would be dope. Actually, I feel like that's kind of. I think for any Sydney band, that's sort of like that's sort of the holy grail of local Sydney gigs. You know?
Oh,
Enmore.
for sure.
Enmore is huge, isn't it? It's like 500 capacity or something like that. Metro is pretty big too. I think that's like a few thousand.
Yeah.
Metro is definitely my goal. Like I've always wanted to play the Metro Theatre.
Can you play the Metro Theatre? Like, I'm pretty sure you guys could host a gig there as long as you had, you know, and put a support thing together if you really wanted to.
So expensive to fucking host at the Metro Theatre. It's ridiculous. It's like at least, I think the higher fee is at least a few grand.
Oh.
And like, yeah. And a local band booking a gig at the Metro Theatre would be the dumbest thing ever. Because you wouldn't I mean, like, just would not be smart. Yeah.
I would love to play like the Lansdowne or Crowbar. I remember playing at the Bald-Faced Stag before it was Crowbar, like 10 years ago, for the first and last time there, and it was pretty good back then. So I don't know what it's like these days, but yeah, that'd be cool to play one of the biggest shows with one of the bigger bands like Fangs or something like that.
Man, it's more than possible, you know, like.
Yeah, well, that's why I'm excited to play these upcoming shows, because I think we're going to come out of the gates, you know, pretty hot, and hopefully get a few people talking about us. So it'd be good.
Yeah, for sure, man. And like all that, I think all that stuff, like all those little goals of like playing different venues and with different bands, like I think you'll probably knock that off your bucket list by next year, you know.
Yeah, well, assuming there's no more COVID nonsense, you know, I think the plan is just to try and play a show once a month, and you know, just see what happens, go with the flow. Like, I always worry too much about booking shit and doing too much stuff, and Lauren always says to me, she's like, just relax, man, shit will come, it'll be fine, don't worry about it.
Yeah, that's it. It's like it's a snowball effect for sure. Like it just kind of, one person will see you, they'll like your vibe, you'll just get offers, and you know, it's a very supportive scene as well, which I've always loved, because I've kind of been through the ringer with my band for like 5 or 6 years now, and we learned very quickly that if you share the same kind of passion and you work just as hard as these other bands that are working just as hard, like they see that, they resonate with that, they'll support you. You know, it's a really good support network that we actually have, and we're very lucky to have the local scene that we do, you know, because they're serious musicians, but they're also really down to earth and always willing to just, you know, support, which I fucking love. I'm so grateful to be in Sydney and be a musician.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely an awesome scene to be a part of. So I'm very grateful that we have a spot, so to speak, on the scene.
Oh, for sure, man. And it's like one thing I've probably realized by, you know, doing this podcast and talking to so many people is sometimes you kind of have different people that are maybe, you know, up on higher levels of the music scene, if that's what you want to call it. I'm just trying to, you know, the little hierarchy of how it kind of works. But you kind of imagine these people to be, you know, your mind kind of builds it up. And as soon as you're actually there, you know, having a conversation or chatting along to people, you realize, oh shit, we're all, you know, human, and you know, you're just good blokes that have done this or gone on that scene or this scene. And everything is like that too. Like every, you know, you're mentioning the Crowbar before, and there's like a bunch of bands that I know that are in that little Crowbar scene that all kind of go there, and one of them will have a gig and then they'll invite the others to support, and it works all vice versa. And same with the Lansdowne and all that kind of stuff. It's just, I've figured, I think Sydney is one of those places that the more people you know, the better, you know, the more people that you know and you get along with, and the more bands that you meet and vibe with, I think it's the easier for you and your band to kind of network with. Because, you know, like every band wants to have like bands that support them, to be fun, and, you know, they're the, you know, to be friends with. Because if you're friends and you finish a gig, you want to all kick on together.
Yeah, exactly. Like I think, you know, if you're just a band starting out and you immediately hit up a big name band for a show, like that's obviously going to go nowhere. But you're going to, you know, start a dialogue with them. You know, they're just random people. They're just normal people, you know, like talk to them like normal, and then, you know, don't just hit up a big band straight up for a show. Like, you know, you got to have a dialogue with people, and do as much as you can on your own to begin with as well. Like, I think one thing that I would say to any band starting out, just keep going, keep doing it. Like, so many people told me that this was so stupid before I started this. And now, you know, 2 years later, it's become bigger. Like right now, it's bigger than I ever thought it was ever going to be. And it's just going to keep going, you know? So, yeah, I think you've just got to take it easy, do as much as you can on your own, and just keep going. That's the most important thing. Just keep moving forward. Keep hammering.
Yeah, I definitely vibe with that as well. Like, to kind of expand on that from what I've learned as well, and like what I've observed is that there's hard work in perfecting your craft and putting in that hard work. There's also the hard work that you have to put in to actually like show up, show face, show up to other people's gigs, network. Like networking is a part of the work that you need to put in.
Yeah.
And it's a very slow burn, but you know, you just see who you vibe with, and you know, generally everyone's like-minded, everyone's the same, everyone's down to earth, everyone's human. You know, it's not about you know, you've just got to show up and you'll definitely vibe with them, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and go to shows, go to other people's shows as well, and just
fucking
put your
nice.
hand out there and, you know, say hello and make yourself, you know, at least, you know, known, and, you know, go out and support other stuff as well.
Yeah.
And like, and also, you know what else is kind of weird, and I wanted to ask your band as well. Like, I feel like in today's kind of, you know, the music world, you kind of have to wear so many different types of hats. You've almost got to wear like the marketing hat for your band, and that dictates, like, you know, your kind of general image that you're putting out on the different social media forums and stuff like that. And then you've also kind of got to manage, you know, writing your music, and, you know, and then there's got to be somebody in the band who manages booking and looking after gigs, and then, you know, somebody who's creating the content to go on all these social media platforms. So how do you guys juggle, I suppose, the inside jobs? Who does what?
Nathan.
So I'm very fortunate that I may be a guitarist in a cool band, but I still have a day job. And I'm very fortunate that my day job is not as consuming as others. So, you know, I have a lot of free time. So most of the time I'm just sitting in my room that I'm in now. I'm either, you know, rehearsing or writing or coming up with content and a plan for our future, like a schedule and stuff like that. And I try not to bombard social media with nonsense on the band page, like, because, you know, it's always been like, before everyone joined, it was just my page, so I just put up whatever. But now, as people have joined and it's become a legit band, I've moved away from, you know, posting my personal thoughts and all that sort of shit and photos about my dog on the band page. And I've just moved that to my personal page. But yeah, like I try not to. I think it was I was watching Rogan, and someone said one day about, you know, is this post going to be worth someone's time? Like, everyone's time on earth is really short. So I try not to post stuff and just bombard people with bullshit, you know, unless we have a big announcement or something, you know, legitimate that we want people to pay attention to. You know, that's really how I manage the social media pages. But in terms of bookings as well, like I said, I've got a lot of free time, so I'm always emailing people, and as I said before, Lauren tells me to shut the fuck up and relax for a minute if I'm trying to book too many shows or anything like that. And sometimes shows will fall in our laps. Like I think we had to turn down 2 shows last week because they just didn't line up with our schedule. So yeah, like, it's mainly me doing all the admin-y type stuff, and I'm trying to make a record label as well at the moment. So yeah, it's a lot of emails.
Yeah. Wow, man. And like I feel like I was talking to a girl, like a lady named Monica Strutt, on a previous episode. And one thing that she said is, like, as a band, as a, you know, musicians, you kind of got to, if you really want to be serious about a band, you've got this kind of 18 month, you know, around about 2 years to where you've kind of just got to fucking grind and go do all the shows everywhere, and then after that you can kind of sit back. But it seems like you guys are starting to get that little bit of the snowball effect starting. If you're turning down shows, that's a good thing.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I never want to turn down a show. Like, I love playing live, and I'm sure everyone else in the band does as well. But, you know, if things don't line up, you know, then we just we don't want to be a detriment to the other bands playing the venue and ourselves. So I never want to, but sometimes you have to, turn down shows. And I think, we've gone through that, like as you said, that grinding phase for the last, what is it, 2 years now, something like that. I still think we're there. We've still got a mountain to climb in front of us, but with the Laurens joining us, I think it's going to be a much easier climb. Like I think just come to the first show is all I'll say. Come to the first show.
Yeah, we're gonna see you there, man. Oh,
when have I got to come out? What's the day?
sorry, I thought that we told you, but we have to keep it hush, don't we?
I'm talking to you and the audience as well.
All right.
Well, when it's announced, we'll let you know, and then hopefully we'll see you there.
All right.
It'll be early December as well. So,
well, that'll work well. If you're watching this right now, head over to Instagram, jump on the gram, and have a look at when the next show is.
Yeah, hit us up on the socials.
Yeah, for sure. Like and follow.
Like and subscribe.
I was going to say that, but then I realized, oh no, that's only for YouTube.
Oh yeah. Or past my brain as well.
No, we got a YouTube channel as well.
And head over we'll have your YouTube in the bio below. So guys, if you want to have a look, jump down and pop over, and like and subscribe. And also while you're here, like and subscribe.
Yeah, like and subscribe to West Underground.
Oh yeah, like and subscribe to West Underground. We can say it.
And and like, have you, like, guys, at the moment, like the point you're in now, is the strategy for you like more like still being consistent with shows or lessening the amount of shows?
It was funny you say that, because I watched your interview with, I think it was A Swift Farewell, where they were talking about, just focusing on putting out good songs and sort of not doing every single show that came across their plate, so to speak. So I think like it's a bit of both for us. Like we want to play shows because that's, one of the best ways to, get your name out there. But at the same time, we want to make and release good music in a really strategic way that gets it, in the hands of the Racket, Home and Hose, and Short Fast Loud. So I think we want to put out a single by February, March, something like that, depending on Lauren and how.
Oh, it's done.
No, I think we're pretty close. Yeah, I think and I think it's good that we had that whole album sort of ready for her to go nuts on. So
that made things easier.
Yeah, but like I said, we never want to turn down a show, but at the same time, we don't want to overbook shows and do too many shows.
There is also that thing of like, you can't, like if you do accept every single show and you play every single weekend, then you're going to end up just being that band that plays every weekend. So it's like, oh, we'll catch them next weekend, we'll catch them next weekend kind of thing.
It's not an event.
You want to retain that exclusivity in a sense. Just so people turn up.
Yeah, I think that's a good, like, good to definitely, play when, so that way it's, you don't have people doing exactly that, going, well, why would I come see you? Like, I'll see you next week.
I'll see him next weekend. That'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want people to be asking you, when are you guys playing? Do you guys?
Yeah, so I think we have like four shows booked. And I think we'll leave it at that for now, unless like a unicorn falls in our lap, so to speak. But I think just keep your eyes and ears peeled for some new Teddy Rizzo content.
Well, now you're getting out of Sydney anytime soon? Are you going to go up the north or south coast?
It's not on the cards at the moment. We're definitely happy to consider it. Like I said, if something were to come across our table, but I think the Brisbane shows that we played earlier in the year were a bit taxing on us when it was just the two of us.
Oh.
We sort of underestimated that and weren't really prepared.
Yeah.
This was the perfect time where I needed Lauren there to say, dude, shut the fuck up. Don't worry about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's like before this, for the past like 6 or 7 months, I've actually been working in management and bookings. So like, aside from being in a band, like I've learned so much valuable knowledge, and there's just so much shit that you just don't need to do that is just so unnecessary for your band and for yourself. Which is just, it's really good. But then also it's like the experience is one thing. So it would be cool to, if we're all financially stable, like the bonding of a band is also so important. So it would be really cool to like tour when we all can financially do it.
Oh yeah,
just to like fucking get in a van together and just jam all the time.
Yeah, it'll be so sick. Like, I know
Right.
people. I've always seen like videos of people complaining about being on tour and the journey of all that shit. I'm like, fuck that. Like that's the stuff that I would love to do.
Yeah, unless they're being forced. Like they like people in labels? Sometimes people are forced to be on tour and they don't want to.
Yeah, unless like you're paying back an album that you don't want to pay back.
If you're only getting 15 cents of every dollar that you make.
Yeah, that would be difficult. But like if you're doing it just for the fun and it's something that you've organized yourself and there's a sick local band that wants to bring you up or something like that, we definitely jump on that. Would be fucking sick. I was talking to Sam from Fangs a couple of weeks ago, and I'm like, he was telling me about his tour over in Japan with his other band. I'm like, dude, I would fucking totally come with you and be your roadie if that was going to happen again.
Go.
Yeah, man. Like, I definitely think it's something you got to go do. But when you were playing Queensland, did you fly up or did you drive up?
So I drove up with my wife and my dog, and Jay flew up and I just picked him up from the airport. So it was one of those things where, like I said before, we didn't really know what to expect or what to do. Like none of us had done that before. So we kind of just treated it as like a weekend away with your mate, going to some random bars and stuff. But it was weird. Like the venues that we played at, for some reason they thought that we were going to be like the big draw. And I was like, no, like you've invited us to play. Like I've hit them up for any dates where we could support. And they were like, oh no, we're going to find other people to support you. I'm like, no. Like,
yeah.
Oh, really?
Wow. There's a bit of a misunderstanding. But anyways, we played the shows and they were fun, and everyone that came had fun, and everyone that played had fun. So yeah. Yeah, for sure, man. Like,
I've got something to say, just real quick, just to digress, because that's what I do. I didn't know you had a dog, Nathan. What's your dog?
Oh, one moment.
Wait, yes, can we show dogs? Can we show dogs right now? This is mine. Oh,
My
look
dog.
at that. He is cute. I can't pick mine up. I'll probably die. COVID.
yeah.
He was just sleeping, so now he's all pissed off.
Oh, is he?
Oh,
He's adorable. All right, yeah, I had to do that anyway. Sorry, guys.
That is a first. We haven't had a little dog show on West Underground, so
It's the first time for everything.
yeah. Is it a Labradoodle?
No, it's a cavoodle.
A capoodle. Oh, okay.
They're the best. I love them.
Man.
He's only he's like 1.5.
Yeah, very cute.
Yeah.
They're the best dogs. Those I'm sorry, Lauren here, but I just have a thing for little dogs.
How dare you?
Yeah, he's pretty awesome.
Just cut me out. Cut me out completely. When you edit, I don't want to be
anymore. Big dogs scare me because like if you ever go to somebody's house and they have like the little dog, it'll be like either like really happy to see you or it'll be like a little bit cranky. But the big dogs, when it's cranky, I'm petrified.
Well, you'll be happy to hear that my dog is not cranky at all. He just sleeps and licks himself.
Yeah. Well, that's good if you're coming over.
Yeah, I get what you mean. Big dogs can be fucking scary. One time a Great Dane, like I kid you not, he was so much bigger than me. I was sitting down and he just came up to me and he just stared at me. And then he started to try and hump me. And I was like, I literally couldn't hold him back. I was like calling out to my mate because it was my mate's dog. And I was like, save me. It was just really intense. So yeah, big dogs are fucking scary sometimes, man. I will
That would have been
agree.
a scary situation because that's
It was
like getting
fucking
humped
scary.
by a pony, you know? Like,
Yeah.
oh man, that's not an experience I want. Thankfully,
No.
I haven't had that.
So you don't have an excuse. I do.
Yeah, I wouldn't even
And I
know
own a
what to
big dog.
do
Yeah.
because it's so much like what could you really do in that situation other than scream?
Yeah, that's pretty much all I could do. And I was like, I'm pretty sure I was like, you know, 6-pack of beers deep too by this point. I was just trying to chill out. And there's that dog. And here I am trying to fucking fend for my life while this dog, this giant Great Dane. But yeah, it's cool. I just yelled and then he like came up and like grabbed the dog and tackled him. And I was like, and then I went and I had some more beers.
You'll feel like you need a beer after that.
Yeah.
Like a
Yeah.
traumatizing experience.
Mm. Yeah, it was pretty crazy.
Yeah. And guys, anything like what's the time? Oh wow,
We've been gone for a while.
yeah, I didn't realize I was having a good time. That's always when I'm like having fun during these interviews. I feel like they just, you know, they just fly by.
Past, yeah, for sure.
But before we like wrap this up, is there anything that you guys want to you know, mention or plug?
I think just, you know, head over to Teddy Rizzo on Instagram and Facebook, and you know, give us a like. Just keep watching the page because we're going to have some big announcements in the next couple of weeks and for shows, and then you know, hopefully, like I said earlier, maybe like around February, February is like the penciled in time we want to have our first single out. So you know, we've got the ball rolling on everything. So keep your eyes peeled, Sydney, because we're going to be the next band out there.
Beautiful. All right. Thank you so much, guys, for coming on.
Thanks for having us, man.
Thanks,
No,
Hamish.
Thank you.